When you think of cryptids, you most likely think of Bigfoot, or maybe even Nessie. In fact, you think of just about any cryptid anywhere in the world, except for rural England. But even in the quaint, deserted, and forested areas of England, you can find things which will make your skin crawl. What's up guys, it's Freaky Informer, and today I'm talking to you all about the Shug monkey, a strange cryptid creature from Cambridgeshire. If cryptozoology is your thing, or you find yourself coming back to my channel, it'd be awesome if you liked and subscribed. Now, back to the Shug monkey. What's almost as creepy as this creature is the name that locals have given to it. Upon first thought, Shug monkey probably sounds a little silly. That is, of course, if you don't know the name's origin. The word Shug has a very interesting etymology. In fact, the word's true origin is Shuk. If you know about the black Shug, which is a variation of the Shug monkey, then you'll know where I'm going with this. Shuk is a word that is synonymous with demon. In fact, the word Shuk originated when, on the 4th of August 1577, a demonic dog broke through the doors of a church during a storm and killed 4 people. So as the name suggests of Shug monkey, you would expect the creature to just be a monkey that murders people. But this creature is no King Kong. The Shug monkey is described as a 10-foot long creature with the body of a black sheepdog and the head of a monkey. Despite having a solid description, the creature is actually often considered to be some form of ghost or demonic entity. Some sources indicate that sightings of the Shug monkey have supposedly not been reported since the onset of World War II. However, there's extensive documentation of an encounter with the cryptid, which dates much more recently than the Second World War. A local in the Cambridgeshire area named Sam Holland was out on a walk in the Sandlings with his dog Harry. The year was 1956, and the most unusual thing that the man and dog duo were expecting was the possibility of aliens, as the area historically has a huge association with extraterrestrial activity. However, as they had traversed the forested terrain, something stood out. Between the trees, 40 feet in the distance, was a creature that would not be identified for some time. In the grove of trees before Sam and Harry was an unidentified quadruped of unknown origin. He later described the odd animal as a seemingly British Bigfoot, which walked on 4 muscular legs. The man described these legs to be similar to a lion's, and much of the rest of the animal's hide were covered in thick and glossy black fur. The man estimated the creature to be about 10 feet in length, but never gave any indication of what it is that the creature could be after reporting this incident. When the creature turned, Holland came to be even more shocked. If he didn't know what the creature was before, he certainly had an indication now. The lion-like body of the animal gave way to a head similar to that of a gorilla, with a huge mouth with powerful jaws and a frowning face. Even Sam's dog evoked pure fear as the two stood and stared at this creature, the man frozen and the dog whimpering pathetically. While the man and dog stood in abject fear, the apex predator in front of them simply stood on its 4 legs unfazed. After some time, the bored animal simply turned and disappeared into the woods, never to be seen by Holland again. The man would stand by his tale decades later when once again asked about the encounter. After being pressed by interviewers, he described the creature as an ungodly combination of an ape, a dog, a bear, a lion, and a rhinoceros. He wouldn't be the last to encounter this cryptic creature in this stretch of the woods, however. 7 years after Sam's encounter, a woman named Peggy Cushing would encounter the very same animal that Sam Holland did. However, one huge difference set these encounters apart. As Penny stared at the terrifying form in the woods, it transformed. The dog-ape hybrid began to take the form of a massive gargoyle, which abruptly spread its wings and took off away from the woods. Even the director of the reputable Centre for Fortean Zoology of Britain has a story about this creature. John Downes recalls a story told to him by an ex-partner about her encounter in 1996.
An ex-girlfriend of mine, an East Anglian paranormal researcher, was in possession of some videotape which showed the paw print of some huge animal like that of a cat or dog, but far bigger and with strange flattened fingernails rather than claws.
This in itself isn't much to go on, but John went on to recall how this would spur him on to create a passion project to do with this creature.
She thought that it was a print from an alien big cat of some description, but my immediate thought was of a semi-mystical shug monkey, when I later found that my friend and colleague, Jan Scarf, who was brought up in the vicinity of the air bases, also knew about the so-called shug monkey. I became even more interested, and I have been collecting reports for some years.
Even police local to the Suffolk area have concerns about the creature. Constable A. Taylor remembers many tales of the shug monkey from his youth and described it as a cross between a big, rough-coated dog and a monkey with big, shining eyes. Sometimes it would shuffle along on its hind legs, and at other times it would whiz past on all fours. Is it possible that this strange creature is in fact rather than fiction? Or is it simply a ghost story told to keep children away from the woods at night? Perhaps the sightings are real and spurred on a tale of caution for children. Either way, the mystery of the shug monkey remains just that, a mystery. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. Be sure to check out the charity and petition in the description and visit AP's channel. If you're interested in keeping up with all things Freaky Informer, you should join the Discord. Stay freaky, stay informed. It may save your life.